Hello again, YouTube. It's good to see you again. I'm Rick. I recently broke my cherry here on YouTube. That is to say that I made my first videos and posted them here online. And I have to say, for the most part, it was a pretty good experience. Kind of a mixed bag. I expected to receive comments on the videos that I posted, and boy, I did receive them. I posted a video regarding the tragic shooting in Tucson of Congresswoman Gifford, and within hours of that posting, I was immediately referred to as a teabagger, a racist. I wrote my favorite one down here. What was this? I was, quote, a person more interested in protecting the sorry asses of right-wing pundits than caring about the victims of the tragedy in Tucson. Wow. Okay. So my suspicions were correct. To post these videos on YouTube, you need to have a bit of a thick skin. So I do have a thick skin, and I'm going to keep on posting these videos, and these are my 2 cents. This is my opinion, that's all it is, and if you like it, cool. If you don't, well, then by all means leave a comment and tell me what you think. I'm doing a video today on the Tea Party, and whether or not the Tea Party is as hateful and awful and racist as it is so often portrayed in the media. I have to preface this by saying that I am a conservative. I am not a member of the Tea Party, though I'm sure there will be people who will say that I am a member of the Tea Party, just parading myself off as a neutral opinion, and I'm sure there's going to be Tea Party members out there who will say that I am merely portraying myself as a conservative when really I'm just a liberal in hiding. I assure you I am a conservative, a very independent-minded person, and if you'll give me a bit of time here, I would like to kind of give you my 2 cents on what I think of the Tea Party personally. I think the Tea Party, for the most part, is a very, very vibrant grassroots movement, one that was born from very small beginnings and has grown into something that is a very potent force within the political realm today. I personally have attended 2 Tea Parties simply to see what the Tea Party was all about, what it was like. I was immediately struck by the way that when I first showed up at a Tea Party, I have to tell you, I felt like a 12-year-old at a geriatric clinic. The people that I saw there were elderly. There were people there with their kids, but I would say that the mean and the average age of the people that were there was easily 40 plus. People who are quite a bit older than myself. I'm only 31 years old. The thing that I've heard said a lot on YouTube is that the Tea Party is a populist movement. Well, the idea of a populist movement is a pretty archaic term in modern times, simply because populist movements don't really exist anymore, because it's kind of impossible, especially in modern day America, to have a populist movement. To have a populist movement, you have to kind of have a sense of a media blackout. You have to be able to brainwash the people that are following it to a certain extent. Now, this kind of thing worked in Nazi Germany back in the 30s, when the only kind of news people received were leaflets that they got on the street corners, the state-controlled newspapers, and whatever they might have caught an earful of on the radio that night. But in modern-day America, populist movements don't exist, simply because there's too much information out there available for everybody to get their hands on and draw their own conclusions. We are reaping the benefits of the information age right here on YouTube. This is freedom of speech in its purest form. And that's what I see with the Tea Party, is freedom of speech. Populist movements exists nowadays in pretty much third world countries, communist controlled countries, places like North Korea. Certainly that would be a populist movement, because after all, everything over there is run by the state. And even if there were an after hours show with differing opinions, it wouldn't matter anyway, because they turn the electricity off there at a certain time of night to power the disco ball at Kim Jong-il's palace. The other claim that I've heard is that the Tea Party is racist. Well, at one of the tea parties of the two that I attended, the keynote speaker at that particular event was Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. I saw people there from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different ethnicities: white, black, Latino, Asian, you name it. The only evidence that I've ever seen that the Tea Party is racist is a very small, and I mean very, very small, number of photographs. I mean a handful of photographs of people carrying signs that referred to Barack Obama as a nigger or something like that. Now, this is obviously something that's awful. But in this modern day of information and technology, where everybody has a camera phone, everybody has a recording device, somewhere, no matter where you go, somebody's going to have something. And I find it surprising that if this is such a racist movement, there never has been any audio or video that has been able to prove that that is the case when it comes to the Tea Party. Just a handful of photographs that I've seen. And when you're talking about rallies that they have, the rallies that they have are so immense. The one that they had last year, from all media outlets, the low end being that they had 700,000 people there, the high end being over 1.5 million. So let's split the difference. That's still over 1 million people. No arrests were made. No audio or video was made of people shouting racial slurs or epithets. So I don't really know how you can draw the conclusion that the Tea Party would be racist. As far as whether or not they spew hate speech, I guess that all depends on your point of view. We have to lighten up in this country and start, really clamping down on what it is we're so quick to call hate speech. I don't refer to Sarah Palin saying "don't retreat, just reload" as hate speech any more than I would refer to Barack Obama saying if they bring a knife, we're going to bring a gun. It's not hate speech. This is political talk. Politics is an ugly game, and people talk tough when they're talking in politics. They've been doing it forever. I remember pictures of buttons and signs that I saw from the days when Roosevelt was running for a third term. Buttons that said "no third termites," say no to Ike, or to FDR, calling him names, calling him horrible things. This is the political atmosphere is always a place where you're going to get the best and the worst in people. And when you have rallies as big as what the Tea Party has, I'm sorry, big rallies are like a house party. Assholes are going to show up. It's just a given. So as a whole, what do I think? Populist? No. Racist? No. Hate speech? No. They're a political movement. Simple as that. No different than any other political movement in this country. And I think the numbers that they've created have scared some people in the power structure, and the best way to get rid of something you don't like is to marginalize it by attempting to destroy it. We'll see what happens in the future, and let this, tragic events in Tucson play out however they may. But I think that the idea of blaming either side of the political spectrum has started to simmer down, thank God. And also, thank God, Congresswoman Giffords is recovering well. And honestly pray very hard for all the people who've been affected by this tragedy. And I hope that we as a country can move on and start listening to each other's opinions and embracing what is truly great about this country, and that is free speech. Free speech from everybody. That includes people who are wackos, and especially the wackos. I want to hear from the wackos, because the louder the wackos bark, the easier it is for me to know where the hell these people are. Well, anyway, until next time, I appreciate you listening to me. I'm Rick.